What's up, guys? Welcome back to Half Torqued. Today it's just me in the shop. It's really warm in here. I got the fan going, but man, I'm dying. Anyway, what we're doing today is we're taking out this carbon fiber steering wheel from a brand we won't talk about, and we're replacing it with a killer brand, which is Carismo. These dudes make some killer stuff, let me tell you. So I'm not just doing the wheel, I'm also going to be doing the paddles, because why not? These look sick, and they're so much bigger. So when we're on the tail of the dragon, or we're at 421 or something, no matter where my hands are in the curves, I can reach the paddles instead of having to kind of feel for them. That is one bad thing, I guess, about the paddle shifters not being like attached to the steering wheel. But on the flip side of that, you always know where they are. They're always gonna be at 9 and 3, so you always know where they're at, right? So I can reach them pretty good anytime I need a downshift or upshift, but just having these that are a little bit bigger is just killer. And it's also gonna look really cool behind the steering wheel. But man, the detail in this, like this is a whole replacement, right? This isn't just I hope it's focusing. But this isn't just like a stick-on piece or nothing like that. This is a full replacement, right? So we're gonna have to take it all the way apart, take the old ones out, push the pin out, and put these guys in, man. These things are killer. Shout out to Kenny from Carismo for hooking me up. Man, I'm pumped. But let me show you the wheel, right? So I'll cut to like or Jeremy, excuse me, since he's the editor, he will kind of cut to like, you know, what I have in the car right now as compared to what's about to go into the car, right? So it is a Carismo, like I said, but this one a little bit different than what I have now. The one I have now is pretty, and it's nice, you know, it gets the job done, but it's just not got what the Carismo has, and that's this right here. So it's got the LEDs. If you've seen the other videos that we've done, then you've seen Jeremy's, right? Because Jeremy has one that has the shift light in it and all that kind of stuff. So once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I gotta get one. So I did. I hit up Kenny at Carismo. Dude came through, solid guy. The customer service is up there with JD Customs, man. Shout out to JD Customs. I did watch your video on how to do this. I've done the steering wheel before, but the paddles was a little bit different. So this one is gonna be a little bit of a different install from like even JDC's, because I do have to make some connections. There's a ground, there's a power. You know, we'll get into that in a little bit. But anyway, this is gonna have a module that plugs into the OBD port, just like on Jeremy's Supra. But it's gonna have a little screen up here where, you know, things are, you know, it's monitoring different things. So with anybody that knows about GTRs, we have the screen over here that can show us, I believe it's up to 6 things. I don't think it could go any higher than that. I do have the T-Rex Fusion in here, which can connect to my EcuTech to show even more stuff. And I can also, what's up, Enzo? You got something to say? No? Okay. So the Fusion can connect to the EcuTech, and it can show me, you know, other, you know, parameters that I might want to monitor with the EcuTech or something like that. But hey, if I can have it right here in my face when I'm driving, what's that gonna hurt? Nothing. So like if I want to monitor my trans temps or something like that, you know, I'll have it right here in my face. So, you know, I'm about to get into it. I'm gonna start by disassembling this. I'll show a little bit on how it's done. I think it's been covered in several videos, but you know what? Why not? Let's show it how Half Torque does it, which is the same as everybody else. But yeah, so let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, I think I got everything that is needed. Try to get all the tools, you know, in hand before we get started. One thing that you will need is a T27 or tamper-proof bit. It's for the 2 bolts that go into side, and they're under these little plastic covers. You just pop those out with a pick or a really small screwdriver. And as they say across the pond, Bob's your uncle, or something like that. I don't know. That is not the screwdriver I needed. This is the screwdriver I need. There is a little slot there. Just pop it out. Super simple. Probably never see it again. It's right there. Just Throw that in your cup holder so you don't lose it. And same thing on the other side. Of course, when I put this one on, it was the other way. Simple. Now, when you look in there, you'll be able to see them. So you just take your bit. Might be a little bit tough. You know what? Make sure you undo your battery too. I already did that. And I should have grabbed a magnet. But, you know, lesson learned. Here we are. I do have a fan going. I hope it's not too annoying. Hopefully you can't really hear it. But it is 83 degrees outside. I do have our AC in the shop going. But dude, I am roasting. So what I'm not trying to do is drop this screw down inside the plastic cover, but that might happen. I'm about to find out. I know you're loose. There it is. Boom. But yeah, T27, pop her in there. It is anti-tamper, anti-theft, security, whatever you want to call it. But it does have the point, so you need the hollow bit that will fit right down over top of it. Super easy. All right, put that one in the cup holder. Moving on. So this is to remove the airbag. And please, again, make sure you've got your battery disconnected. The last thing you want to do is have a tool in your hand and this airbag go off. Kind of like when people ride with their dog in their lap. What if you get in an accident, man? The airbag's gonna kill your dog. Kills me. Anyway, public service announcement, I guess. You might notice I threw a little towel up on the dash. Just don't want to bang anything. I don't know. Can't hurt, right? Safety third. And if y'all watch the video of us doing Jeremy's, whew, that thing was crazy. 100% worth it, but crazy. Ooh, look at there. Airbag. Now, these guys are a little bit different on how you do them. And I think the little black pieces will, yeah, the little black pieces can pop up and then you can disconnect them. So just be careful you don't break them. Kind of looks like I did last time. I don't remember that. Might need to get a pick for this. Let me try this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna get a pick just to be safe. If there's one thing you don't want to break, it's anything related to airbags and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second. All right, pick acquired. So hopefully you can see this on the camera, because I can't see what you see right now. But there's these little black pieces, and they gotta pull up, right? And then you just slide, you just pull it right off. Same thing on both sides. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to break these little tabs, because that would suck. But I am a trained amateur, so and I just broke it. So maybe don't listen to the things that I have to say. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. There it is. There's one. Even with the battery disconnected, like, I know I'm not the only one that's always nervous about messing with your airbag. I can't be. Can't be. Yeah. Really, can you imagine if you were doing this without the battery disconnected and this, you had it in this orientation and it blew off? Bro, nightmare fuel. Anyway, hopefully Jeremy will just glaze over this and make it look like I did it really fast. But knowing Jeremy, he tells us all the time he's tired of being emasculated in the shop. So any chance he gets in editing, I'm sure he's going to make us look bad, you know what I mean? But that's okay. Got it. All right. Airbag disconnected. Set that somewhere safe. You won't lose it, like on my Malco towel. Thank you, Malco. Best brand out there. Okay. There are a couple connectors that need to be disconnected, and we're also going to have to reconnect into some of these. I'm gonna have to splice into a couple wires. It is a 19 millimeter, I believe. Boom. Now, one thing you want to make sure is lock the steering wheel and don't mess up your clock spring. You mess up the clock spring, man, that's gonna suck. But yeah, don't mess up your clock spring. Make sure it's basically centered up. There is a line, might not get perfect, but your alignment guy can handle that. Nut is off. All right, there's the wheel. It's gone. Just gonna set this guy aside somewhere. Don't want to hurt it. So it is gonna be for sale. Thank you, Continental, for keeping my lukewarm bottle of water lukewarm. All right, so there's a couple little covers right here that have to come off. Just pop those guys out carefully. Don't want to damage it, even though you can't see it. Be so careful with that clock spring. That thing freaks me out, man. I don't want it to come off, you know what I'm saying? So there's a couple screws right here, and then I think we could take that piece off. I know there's some other screws. Let's see. Pull it out a little bit just to give me a little bit more room. You know, speaking of these little koozies, come out to our car show on August 9th. It's a Dyno Day car show in Johnson City, Tennessee. If you look on our Instagram, you'll find it. And I'll get Jeremy to throw that up on the screen real quick. Please, Jeremy, right in here somewhere. But yeah, we'll be giving out some koozies, and there'll be some other stuff. There will be some giveaways that you can enter to win, including a free set of Continental tires. So come out, check us out. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. There's the other screw I know I gotta get to. All right, so that panel came off. Kind of do the same thing on this side. Start prying around. Oh, look, the top popped off. That's cool. So, do not take out the top black screws. You'll see them. There's some right here. Leave those alone. I feel like I'm rambling a lot in this video. This is the part where Jeremy's editing, and I say I feel like I'm rambling a lot in this video, and he'll text me at like 1 in the morning, like, you're definitely rambling a lot in this video. This is one of those things where you always feel like you're gonna break it. You know what I mean? Okay, there's screws back there, so we're gonna work around it. But I can tell you, to get these paddles off, there's a 10 millimeter here, there's 10 millimeters back here, and then there's Phillips heads on the side. And there's also electrical connectors on each one, obviously. So, you really gotta get some Icon ratchets and whatnot, man, because that Icon stuff is hard to beat for the money. I see Jeremy putting a counter up every time I hit my head. Can't help it, I'm 2 feet taller than him. Take these Phillips out. Most of the time when I'm taking stuff apart like this, I'll just put it right back, like the hardware, if I can, I'll put it right back where it came from. But I think most people that work on their own cars do that kind of stuff. So just disconnect this guy, and out it comes. And I'll give you a direct comparison in size here in just a moment. But let me get the other side off, which I guess you don't really have to hang around for, so catch you in a minute. So this is a size comparison. So let me line them up pretty much the same. There we go. Look at that. That's crazy. Now, I do love these. I love that they're made out of magnesium, and they got these almost like rubberized kind of grip to it, which is cool. But come on, dude. You can't beat that. It's beautiful. So yeah, we're gonna get those onto the car, but gotta do a little bit of work to get this stuff off, right? So there is a pin right here. show you there. There's a pin right here. See, it goes all the way through. So this is the top, this is the bottom. So what I'm looking for is something that I can use to push that pin that I pointed out kind of straight through. And that's not gonna do it either. It's way too small. That is what she said. You know what? Maybe while I'm doing this, it'd be a fine time for Jeremy to just kind of cut to one of our sponsors. So we'll see you guys back in just a minute. All right, so you guys know here at Half Torque, we love gunk, right? So last time you saw us cleaning our engine bays, we used gunk step 1 and gunk step 2. Personally, I like the foamy. It's a lot more fun. But anyway, it's been about a month since we did that, right? So we've been to the mountain, daily driving, all kinds of different things. It's been really rainy here in East Tennessee as well, as you can see. So looking at the engine bay, the way it sits right now, that's the way it looks without us doing anything, right? So the step 2 is the shine, like it's gonna help protect everything. So when you look at the engine bay right now, it still looks pretty clean. You can see where some air and water and things like that go through, but we're gonna hit it with some water and just kind of show you what it looks like with that protection on there. So let's give it a shot.
We were actually gonna showcase again the engine degreaser foamy because we freaking love that product. But the engine protector shine kept it cleaner than we thought it would. This is literally a month we were trying to get it dirty. Mountain driving, like you said. We're just gonna hit it with some light pressure. The pressure washer's not on, this is just water. There is nothing else on this engine bay. So now we're just gonna dry it up with a microfiber. So this is literally just very, very light pressure water. There's no cleaning products on this at all. This is basically like an affordable ceramic coating for your engine bay. So this is literally just the engine protector shine. I absolutely recommend putting this in your engine bay, but definitely engine cleaner at first. This stuff is freaking awesome. Our cars get very dirty, and these are keeping them very clean.
All right, so while you were learning about our sponsor there, I was able to get this piece out off camera. I'll show you how I did it with the other side here in just a moment. But now that just pops right out. This piece, this plastic piece, is pretty important. It has to go into the new one, right? So I'm gonna take it out in the same orientation and I'm gonna put it in the same orientation into the new one, right? So I'm gonna slide it out, slide it right back in, just so I know that it's in the right way and I haven't screwed anything up, just because I'm paranoid sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. So boom, there it is. Slid it right into it. Now, all you need to do is get this guy put back in. Guess I could show this a little bit better. I'll try to do that with the next one, so let me just move on. All right, if I'm being honest, getting this pin back in is no easy task. So what I'm gonna do is use this. All right, after some beating and banging with a rubber mallet, got her in there. So should be good now. So here's a size comparison. Look at that. Look at that. It's bigger than I can stretch my fingers. God, it's gonna look so good behind the wheel, man. So good. Love it. Love it. All right, now let's get the rest. Since I couldn't point out earlier, let me show you. This, so to be completely transparent with you guys, after I was putting this one together, I'm not 100% sure that I put the other one in, the little connector, like on the other end of this. I'm not 100% sure that I put it in the right way. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that other one back off just to be safe. Like I think it's okay, like I think it's fine, but I want to know for sure, you know? Peace of mind is everything. Pizza mind is everything. Or something like that. Great, now I want some pizza. Crap. Can't order pizza when I'm the only one in the shop. Like, it doesn't make any sense. who am I? Like, why would I, what would I do with all the pizza? Man, you guys should have seen all the pizza we ordered one day. It's dumb. Don't base your orders off the pictures. We thought there was gonna be a lot less pizza than actually showed up. God, it looks good. Yeah, see, it feels the exact same. But, like I said, man, peace of mind is everything. So, let's do it. You know what? Sometimes you gotta take risks in life. Sometimes you gotta take a risk in life. So that's what we're doing. Gonna regret it so hard. I can tell. I can feel it. I know I'm going to. But, you know, let's move on to the steering wheel. So we're gonna do this outside of the car. Okay, so let's start taking this apart, and I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. So this guy, you'll just pull off basically. You'll see these two little locking tabs. Make sure you can see that. These two little locking tabs right here. They grip on right here. Just pop those and the whole thing will pop right off. So we're gonna set that guy to the side. And then there's a couple of, there's 3 Phillips head that we gotta unscrew. So let me grab a screwdriver real quick because I was not prepared. Just pop these screws off. You know, a lot of this stuff is just going to transfer over to the new steering wheel. So unhook the wiring from right there. Super easy. All right, so there's that. Now, I got to get this guy off. This is going to mount into the new one, right? So one of your wires is going to connect right here. The horn activation or location switch, whatever that is. So that's what's going to connect right there. So let me find the right Torx bit and we'll be right back. So looks like it is a T40. So it's not going to be super easy to do outside. Oh, I take that back. It's very, very easy. These are spring loaded, so let's keep that in mind. Gotta use these springs. Let's not forget, you gotta use the springs. So, that's it. That is a naked wheel that is now up for sale. So let's get the new bad boy in here. Woo-wee. Start assembling this guy. Basically just a simple reverse order. This is really easy. Like, pretty much anybody can do it. If I'm sitting here doing it, you can do it. A little pressure onto it so the threads can catch. You know, I don't think you want to really get this in super tight or anything because it's basically your horn. There's little contacts on it. Let me grab the other wheel and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you push it, you should be able to hear that. But let me show you on the other wheel what I'm talking about. So you can see like little copper looking contacts right there. So when you press down on it, I'm guessing it completes the circuit, and that's what, you know, sounds your horn. So yeah, pretty neat, right? All right, so now that that part's installed, what we need to do is take off this faceplate right here, right? So this one is a replacement, right? So let me go grab that other one real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So earlier in the video, but I was showing that this is just an overlay, right? So it just lays on top, just like that. You can peel the tape off, stick it down, good to go, right? So this one is actually a full replacement, right? So this is what sets Carismo apart. So they don't just give you basically carbon fiber stickers. Now, don't get me wrong, that's real carbon fiber, and that's cool, and it looked great, but this is a whole replacement piece, man. They go above and beyond when it comes to their parts. That's why we reached out to them and wanted to work with them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like there's just 4 screws holding this on. So we're gonna take that off and then we're gonna go from there. So yeah, pulling these screws out. These are tiny little screws too, so make sure you don't lose one. Do it over a workspace so you don't drop them, lose them in the carpet or something like that. That would really suck. I just love quality parts, you know what I'm saying? It really makes a difference. Just like quality tools, they make a difference. Anyway, so be gentle when you're doing this. I've never done this piece before. Last thing you want to do is break anything on a car like this, especially if it's your dream car like it's mine. And I just broke it. Once you're actually doing this, if you're actually doing this yourself and not just watching our video, which we do appreciate, it'll make a lot more sense when you're looking at it. There's some stuff that is just kind of hard to relay on camera, like Jeremy's sense of humor, for instance. And I broke another tab. So, kind of felt that coming, and I'm not too concerned because I don't plan to use this piece anymore. I'm gonna be honest, that was not fun. I did not have a good time doing that at all. But with a little patience and a little work. So basically, on this one, the factory one, these little, I'm assuming that this is a metal cover. It's really thin aluminum. Bend these little tabs up, there's 3 of them. And then you'll go around and you'll see the little plastic pieces, just kind of push them in until the switch panel pops out. I make it sound so easy, but some of you may find it very easy, but I kind of struggled with it a little bit. But anyway, once you get past that, you'll just go back, transfer everything over. You want to make sure your buttons are going to line up. And then you'll start squeezing this guy into place. Everything is going in fine. All right. Buttons are in. Everything works as it should, it feels like. Just go through, give it a few squeezes, make sure everything is seated in its home. Don't you want to go to your home? And then we'll put the 4 screws back in. Don't over tighten them. I'm constantly feeling like I'm gonna break stuff. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way when they're working on these little things like this. I'm thrilled with the way everything has fit and gone together, and the support and everything. Now we're about to put this guy in the steering wheel. Look at that. Look at that. I'm thrilled to be in the position that I'm in the car world. Some people look at my car and think, it's just a GT-R, it's old, it's been around forever, blah, blah, blah. Still so thankful to be able to have one. Now to be able to work with people like Carismo and all these other great sponsors that we have, like Continental and Second Skin and Blaster. Man. As far as this wiring goes, let me see. The blue one is going to go right over here, connect right there. Your red one is going to go right into here. I hope you can see this. I apologize if you can't. The red one's going to connect to this black, and I know that seems kind of counterintuitive in the wiring world, but I promise you that's where it goes. Okay. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back through. I'm going to unhook this. And I'm going to go in through the same area that this factory wiring goes. I'm going to connect the blue one up there, like I said a second ago. Then I'm going to take this red one. It's going to connect right here to the black. Silicone cover wants to push it back out. I think I'll go ahead and crimp it down too, just to be safe, because it is popping her right back out. Let me find our crimpers. Okay. I'm going to try to make this work. It'll fit down in there. There we go. That'll just kind of get tucked up in there. This one needs to go in there. And that will plug into the clock spring. This is a ground that we will get grounded. Not sure where I ground it, but we will. All right, moving on. All right. Let's work on getting this guy back in. Need to put this guy back together. You know what I forgot? Tools. I need a dang screwdriver. A lot of people just use a drill attachment screw these in real quick, but for some reason, a lot of times I like to do things a little more analog. Always been that way, and I don't really know why. Remember, these things don't have a torque spec. You just want them nice and snug so they don't rattle or move around. Because one thing I hate is rattles. Let me tell you. I used to get this really dumb rattle down here that would, oh my God, it would drive me, my wife, and my kid crazy sometimes. So I'm glad we got that fixed. Oh, those things are pretty. They're so pretty. All right. Moving right along. I know this thing is not going to go on perfect, unfortunately. Luckily, when you're plugging these back in, there's only one way they can go. Yeah, when you look at this, when you're doing it yourself, you'll see the little notch. So it goes on the right way, and obviously they're color-coded, so you cannot do it wrong. You can get your life together, because that would be insane. I wonder if I could just ground it right there. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a tiny touch of beauty. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. That could have been bad. That could have been bad. No. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Got the light off just so we can see it. Here we go. I love it. All right. So let's just get a... So yeah, let's just finish buttoning it up. Basically, it's just these last two bolts for the airbag, to hold the airbag in place, and put the two little covers on, and it's all good. So let me get that done, and I'll be back. All right. Little trick for putting these things in so you don't want to drop the screw or bolt or whatever it is you're doing. Just put a really good magnet on there that will fit through the hole and whatnot. That way you don't drop it. That's the finished, that's it. That's what it looks like. Super, super, super nice. Wow, I love it. This one actually feels better than the other one. Like the grips are better. I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I guess it's just the way it's shaped. But man, it's pretty. I love the paddles. Look at that, man. I can hit it with my pinky. That's insane. I love it. Love it. God, that's so sick. Love it, man. So yeah, one thing I haven't shown yet is the fact that you have to connect this box down here, right? So this is what sends all the information to the steering wheel display. It comes with a Y in there. So I've got my Ecotech hooked up still. I'm gonna zip tie it up out of the way, make sure everything is good and I don't kick it or nothing like that. And yeah, so let's that's the install, man. Super simple. Didn't take long. If I wasn't trying to film stuff, it would have been even better. But yeah, gosh, big fan, love it. All right, give me a few minutes and I'll wrap up the video. All right, guys, so that's it for putting in the Carismo steering wheel and shift paddles. Gotta say, man, it's another step at like modernizing the GT-R interior. You know, first with the Fusion, and now with this Carismo steering wheel. Still got a piece for Adam that I'm putting in. I just don't have the time right now, but I will get it done this week, so it will be coming out in a video soon. I hope you learned something, or you know, if you were following along trying to install your own, I hope this helps. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, real straightforward, super simple, and if you like it, drop us a like. You know, give me a comment. Give Jeremy a comment, other than, hey Jeremy, are you the kid from it? You know, other than that stuff. Anyway, yeah, let us know what you want to see, man. We keep asking for comments. We're not getting them. Not on here anyway. We get them on Instagram a lot. But anyway, yeah. So, peace out, guys. See you in the next one.